So I just got one of your messages and you're asking me to cover slander. If you want my I don't know, I don't think I may not have covered slander before, but if you guys want my 2 cents on the slander thing, I'd be more than happy to do that for you. Let me think. I didn't really I don't think about the slander part as much as you would think that I would think about it. I would say that it's highly likely that slander would come into play simply because if you were to create an enemy, you have to sell that person as an enemy. So history is full of examples of this, especially within the United States. You notice before we go to war, we have to demonize the people we go to war with, whether it's Putin, whether it's the communists, Cuba, blah, blah, blah. You always demonize your enemy and sell that to the populace. So, it's like, basically, do you guys remember the movie Avatar? When they went into Pandora and they wanted to mine all that mineral that they had in Pandora, they had to sell the indigenous people as enemies and bad people in order to rally support behind the fact that they were fucking these people over, right? So what that means is that if you plan to fuck somebody over, you have to paint them in a negative light or make them into the bad guy in order to fuck them over, okay? Because you need public support. So psychologically, they would have to be able to psychologically turn us into a bad guy and sell us as that in order to make it so that everybody is on board with it. If you're going to do something fucked up, you want that to be you want that person to be the bad guy if you're going to do something fucked up to them. So I don't really know if they went through how they did that. I wouldn't know how they would do that. But I would say that logic would suggest that they definitely would want to do that. How many of you have studied antisocial personality types? Antisocial people are masters at doing this. They know how to make you look unstable, gaslight you, and, turn you into what the hell they want you to be. When they do something fucked up, they blame you for it. They always blame the victim. They have like this whole list of tactics that they use to do exactly what you're talking about. So if you had enough, if you had enough power over a person's life, it would only be a matter of time before you can make that person into what you wanted them to be. Like, that person wouldn't start off that way, but look how much power you have. You have this much power. Of course you'd want them to look bad. Why do you think they're bullying us? They're bullying us so we react, so we look unstable, and they can paint that as us being unstable and deserving of all the shit they do to us. So they're saying we deserve it, and they're making us look that bad and saying we deserve it. Like, if you're poor, so if they wanted you to be poor, they would make you look crazy because they said, so it makes sense that you're poor. So they'd say, this guy was stupid, incompetent, and crazy, therefore he's poor. But really, it's not like that. They're sabotaging you. And so the best way to put it would be, if you had an operation like this, you would definitely want to slander a person as much as you could. That would be a logical step. So I don't know if they slandered me, but I would think that they would definitely want to do that. How they did it, I have no idea. But if you think about it, think about the harassment, think about the poverty. You see what I'm saying? So of course, do I think they slandered me? Absolutely. I mean, I just don't know how they did it. Well, I'm absolutely sure they did. I mean, of course they did. But I mean, but we also have to consider the fact that we don't have a lot of information about what is going on around us. I don't really know enough about these people to know whether they would need to slander me. I would think they would want me to be the bad guy. So it's like, however, they could do that. But we don't really know a whole lot about how the operation works and the motivations behind it. So it's kind of hard for me to say if I'm 100% sure they're slandering me. If that makes sense to you, I don't really know. So like the poverty thing. So at first, when this first happened, the operation was different. They handled it differently when it first happened. And I think that over time, they slowly tried to make me act outside of my nature with their, little psychological tics here and there. They try to make you look a certain way. But these people are in your head. These people are literally in your head. So we don't really know what they did in order to make that possible. We have a lot of questions about how they operate, like how all this works. Do you guys remember, I used to talk about Stephen Maddow? Stephen Maddow suggested these people literally can read your mind. I don't know whether you believe that, but I think there's credible evidence that he might have been onto something. If the people can literally get inside your head like that, imagine what they could do with that information. They could turn you into whatever the hell they wanted to turn you into. So the short answer is, if you're gonna fuck somebody over, you want that person to be slandered. That's it. So yeah, I think they probably did slander me. There's so many of them. It's like when I talk about like if I made a video. If I made a video, doesn't that make me look like there's something wrong with me and everybody else is normal? Because they don't know, like if you were looking at this from the outside, you would just see some guy acting erratic. So that would be slander in itself. If you respond to gang stalkers, that is slander because you're acting outside of the normal. The gang stalkers do evil shit, but they make it look normal, and there's a reason why. Like a gang stalker can just come up to you and say, fuck you, blah, blah, blah. He doesn't do that. He sneaks. So he's trying to blend in. And I react to him. So let's assume that there's a gang stalker right there. He's blending in. I'm reacting to him. If I react to him badly, that is slander because it makes me look bad and it makes him look normal. So the operation itself is slander when you really think about it. They go back and say, this guy did this guy did that, he's acting erratic. And nobody is seeing what they're doing. So it would just come across that way. That's why gang stalkers are masters at blending in. Like they pretend they're just not doing anything. They'll just be sitting around acting all casual. Only you know what they're doing. Only you will see it. So they're pretending they're normal and just going about their day while psychologically attacking you. You're not going to play it that way. You're going to act out. In a normal situation, I would be flying off the rails because I would know what they were doing. They would look normal. So slander, yeah, actually, I think that the entire operation in a lot of ways is based off of slander or them getting inside your fucking head and fucking with your mind. All right. So yeah, that is slander. Because it makes you look unstable. It makes you look like the bad guy whenever you react. Right. So he understands this. Yeah. So to answer your question, that's how they do it. That's how they do it. So what I've learned over the years is that you can't react the way they're trying to make you react. You simply can't. And your only defense is to kind of try to find a middle ground where you're dealing with it, but you're not directly dealing with it. You cannot directly attack these people when they fuck with you. You cannot do that. If you do that, it'll just escalate and get worse for you. So to answer your question, yeah, I think they do that. The motivations is the biggest mystery. It's not so much what they do, as why. That's the kind of thing that we never really figure out. So it's a very complicated operation. I've been in it for years. It's very complicated. There's layers to this onion. Like there are people way at the top who are responsible and kind of behind it. So one of you in the comment section, and I think I addressed this in the last video, one of you has said that it's government. It's not just the government. It's literally how things are done. It's how things are done, because you would have people all the way from the local level down to just people that you work with and live with all the way up to the top. So it's kind of just how things are done. So I didn't make this clear in the last video. I think this is how the country works. It's not a conspiracy as much as it is how the country functions now. And everybody kind of just knows about it. So it could be a lot of reasons why it's like that. But yeah, that's how they do it. So when I go places, they subtly, passive aggressively harass me and they make it look very casual and normal. So like I'll go somewhere, they'll be like, I know if I do this, he's going to be annoyed by it. Like they get a little close to you. So let's assume I'm right here. So a guy will just be like right within my personal space and he'll walk by and like, okay, I'm in this personal space. So it'll be a little passive aggressive stuff and you pick up on it and they'll constantly do it and they'll constantly get under your skin. So, and you'll react to it. As soon as you react to it, they're like, this guy's off the hinges. He's off the hinges. He's flipping out. He's losing control. He's a problem. He's a pest. And they start slandering you because you reacted to him. So yeah, I think that makes sense. I don't really care anymore. You just don't stop caring because it stops mattering what they think, really. You don't have a reason to care. They already canceled you. Your life is over. Fuck it, right? So yeah, to answer the question, I think, yeah, definitely. If I was running this operation and I was evil, I would do it. If I was evil, that would be my move to make. Like I would think like that if I was evil, like a monster, a psychopath or something. It would kind of like if you were playing chess, because a lot of this is a chess game. It's a move you would definitely make on a chessboard because it's like chess. You have to outmaneuver your opponent. It's like I play chess with these people, no joke. And they make a move, I have to make a smart, intelligent counter move to their moves. And it's literally like you're playing chess with them. So they make a move, like they send a gang-stalker, and I'll have different moves that I can make, and every move that I make can have a consequence or it can allow me to get ahead a little bit, and it's kind of just how it works. So yeah, to answer your question, I think slander is a huge part of it. And the system out here is meant to keep things, it's like a controlled environment in which the people are trying to keep control of how everything is and who goes where and who does what and how things are done. But whoever's responsible for this is a total and complete psychopath, like the mind of a psychopath. We don't fully understand the mind of a psychopath. Like they are, they're on like this whole different page. So to answer the question, hopefully you understand what I'm saying, but I absolutely think that slander is a huge part of the operation. So just keep this in mind. If a person is planning to fuck you over, they got to make you the bad guy. They will want to make you into the bad guy if they're gonna fuck you. I mean, it's just how it's done. And that's why I talk about Avatar. He said that's how it's done. That's how it's done. They did that when they came over here with the Native Americans. They slandered them. They called them savages. They said these people are savages, and God manifests destiny. God wants all Native Americans dead. They're savages. They slandered the people. So the goal was to take the land from these people, but they didn't just take the land, they slandered them so that all white people everywhere thought these people were savages and didn't deserve it, and God didn't want them to have it, and they just basically killed everybody. They had to sell people on the idea that these were savages not worthy of the land, and white people were worthy of the land before they killed them. So history would seem to suggest that if you're going to fuck a group of people or a person over, you're definitely going to slander them first. We know that because we have hundreds of years of history to back this idea up. So to answer the question, yeah, absolutely. If these people were planning to fuck me from the beginning, so I'm pretty sure they had to slander me first and make me into the bad guy before they went with phase 2 of the operation, okay? So hopefully that makes sense. That's how I see it. But to be fair, I don't know for sure. I mean, this is just, I'm speculating. I can't say 100% whether it's like that or not. But it would be a logical move to make. That's all I can really say. It's a logical move to make. It is. And these people have the ability, from what I understand, I have to make a video about this. I don't know how, but somehow Stephen Madoff said they can get inside your mind and literally get inside your mind. That means they could influence you emotionally, or read your mind, read thoughts. They have some sort of ability. And I don't know if it's the government, like someone mentioned the government. Well, the government could be running a psyops. I just don't know. We don't have a lot of information. I have to cover that in another topic. That's why spirituality comes in. You can't just say that the government can read our minds. I mean, how the hell could they do that? I mean, so that's a whole nother video, but I'm going to kind of just like, tackle that in a whole other video, like Stephen Madoff, what he was saying about the people reading his minds, and he wasn't even safe in his head, and then he went insane. Okay, so that needs to be addressed as well. So let me go ahead and close with that.